Hi everyone, this is Sam. I wanted to make a video displaying this PowerPoint and script that I had made up using generative artificial intelligence, generative AI. So here's the script that I had. So what I did was I asked ChatGPT to make me a PowerPoint about LLMs, large language models. And that is what ChatGPT is. It's a large language model. It was trained on all the data it could get off the internet to be able to speak human language and hopefully be smart enough to say stuff that makes sense. So when I asked it to create the slideshow, it created the general each slide and the talking points. And then I asked it to make a script for my channel, which it also performed that task. And here's the script. So I'm going to kind of read off the script I have printed out here, but while I go through the PowerPoint a little bit, all I did was for the PowerPoint on the most recent or on the updated PowerPoints applications from Microsoft, you will get a tab up here that says designer, and I could throw in like the text and the pictures I wanted to, and then the designer off out here to the right of the screen would give me different cool designs, and it did a great job. Like I would put this box in there, this text box in there, and then I would put 3 bullet points in there, and then the designer that is built in with the most updated version of Microsoft, which this is not, PowerPoint, would make it look pretty, make these things look pretty like this, and give me a couple options to choose from, and then these are the options I chose. So I wanted to put this out there as a use case scenario for the large language models as they currently stand, and maybe that could help you in your day job or just in creative outlets elsewhere in your life, to be more efficient. I would say that using LLMs, this would have taken me much, much longer to put together this PowerPoint and the script, and and it wouldn't have been as good had I done it myself. So anyway, this is a PowerPoint on large language models. Let's see. We're gonna hit play here, I suppose. Ooh, wow! It even added transitions, so that's cool. Didn't even know it did that. Large language models, and in my script, I didn't put all 10 slides that the LLM ChatGPT gave me, so I only have about 7 or 8 of them. How it works. So reading from the script here, how LLMs work. LLMs operate using a concept called transformers. These are architecture designed to process and generate language efficiencies. The key innovation in transformers is the attention mechanism, which help the model focus on the most relevant parts of the text. So your ands and your ums and your thes can be kind of overlooked a little bit, and it draws the most important part of the text out. Now that's interesting because depending on what language you're talking about, I imagine most all LLMs are best at English because that might be what most of the internet is. But English is set up, with the noun up front and the verb action at the end of the sentence. So if the language does it in the reverse, a different language other than English, I would think the LLM would have a hard time with that. But I have seen that they've come out with better and better translators as time goes on here. Even translators that you could have artificial intelligent LLM in your ear in an earbud, and it's translating almost real time as somebody from a foreign nation or somebody speaking a different language. As they talk, you hear it in English or whatever your language is. Transformers, I believe, are hardware, something to do with what they're putting on the chips, the GPUs. So, next slide. Components of the LLM. So tokenization. Tokens are what they break words down into. So every word is not just one token. Some words are multiple tokens. I don't know if it lines up with syllables, maybe the tokens, or not. Maybe more than a syllable, but that's the first step, and probably the last step before turning it into, as the first step for GPT to start understanding what you're asking it, and then probably the last step as it turns it back into a readable sentence. On the script here, it says, let's break down some of the key components of LLM. First, there's tokenization, which involves breaking text into smaller, understandable units, understandable for the LLM, of course. Then it embeds these and represents these words and phrases as numerical vectors. So there are numerical vectors, matrices inside of these LLMs that people don't totally understand. They kind of train themselves over the vast data that they look at over the internet. So these numerical vectors make them easier for the model to process. Finally, LLMs consist of multiple layers of neurons that analyze and generate text, creating a coherent language output. We'll move on to the next slide. The applications of LLMs. Reading from the script, LLMs have a wide range of applications. In natural language processing, they help with tasks like sentiment analysis, summarization, and translation. Conversational AI include chatbots and virtual assistants, relies on LLMs to interact with the user naturally. They can also generate content such as writing articles or even generating computer code. So those are the big things that today's LLMs can do for you. Writing articles, generating code. Like I said, this PowerPoint was put together almost exclusively by an LLM, and I think it's a decent PowerPoint. I think it's better than what I could have come up with my PowerPoint skills as they are today. So I used LLM ChatGPT to write everything out, and then I used whatever artificial intelligence Microsoft is using on PowerPoint to help put these slideshows in a neat looking presentation. Let's see applications. Yeah, the large range sentiment is interesting. You could utilize that to maybe pull sentiment for the markets, for financial markets. If you could input several articles over the past week into an LLM, which their context windows are huge nowadays, you can put books in there for them to analyze for you, full length books. But then you could get a market sentiment, positive or negative on the market. So we'll go to the next slide. Challenges and limitations. See, the GPT drafted all these topics. I just asked simply for a slideshow. And all of these topics are very relevant, very interesting. Um, and I think it did just a wonderful job, and I think they only get better from here. Challenges and limitations. Reading from the script. Despite their capabilities, LLMs face several challenges. So this is an LLM kind of criticizing LLMs. One major issue is bias, as they can inadvertently learn and reproduce bias present in their training data. That's a major thing to watch out for. Additionally, LLMs require significant computational resources to train and operate. They are electricity hungry. Understanding context and nuance can also be a challenge, leading to misunderstandings in complex scenarios. So hopefully they get better with that as time goes on, and they can train on more useful data. So LLMs like ChatGPT 3 were trained on all the information that OpenAI could get on the internet. And now they offer these services like I can use ChatGPT for free or for $20 a month. $20 a month, and I have access to one of the most um, groundbreaking technologies and expensive to run technologies that human beings have ever made. And I think a lot of it has to do with they just want our feedback. They want inputs and feedbacks and new data to train on, and they allow you to do feedback within ChatGPT by letting them know if it was a bad response or a good response, or so ChatGPT is kind of using you as you use it. So very interesting. Bias in training. The one that comes to mind, of course, nowadays is political bias. If it's trained on just all of Google News websites, and if there's more websites that have a positive view on one political side or the other, of course, that's going to show up in the end results here. These are tough things to figure out, for humanity to figure out and navigate our way through these challenges as they come to the forefront, or as these LLMs become more and more capable and these challenges uh, become more pressing. So we'll go to the next slide. Ethical considerations, privacy and data security. Okay, let's read from the script here. Ethical considerations are crucial when developing and deploying LLMs. Privacy and data security must be prioritized to protect user information, ensure fairness, and reducing bias in AI outputs are also essential. Let's see, I read that wrong with the wrong tone. Ensuring fairness and reducing bias in AI outputs are essential. Moreover, we need to consider the impact of LLMs on jobs and creativity, as they can potentially automate tasks traditionally performed by humans. So, privacy and data security, of course, is what I was just talking about. LLMs, probably in the terms and whatever terms and conditions that you sign to use ChatGPT, you're signing away your right to the data, just like you would for Facebook and X and Instagram and all the social medias that are already out there. That's why they know so much about you, and that's why Facebook is free, and you don't pay a $20 a month subscription to Facebook. So you're getting convenience and you're getting cheapness in exchange for giving your privacy and data away. A lot of us do it. I don't know if it's bad or good. It could be bad if it's in using the wrong hands. It could be good if they show you advertisements that are things that you actually need. You know, could be bad if the government is listening to you and the government becomes authoritarian and just doesn't want anything bad said about a certain party, and then they give you like little negative things throughout your life to hurt you if you're saying the wrong stuff online. That's kind of gross. And we all want to try to help become educated. We all want to become educated on this stuff and help mitigate it. Ensuring fairness and reducing bias. Yep, got to do that. Impact on jobs and creativity. So the impact on jobs I can see right now, of course, is journalism. Um, LLMs can produce 1 million articles, in a very short amount of time. Hollywood seems to be a thing of the past, where LLMs combined with the artificial intelligences that can make video and movies can totally make actors obsolete, human actors obsolete. So, uh, which is a problem when it comes to unifying a culture. A culture like the United States of America, where at one point, 50s, 60s, 70s, we had all the same 5, 6, 7 channels or whatever. We watched all the same stuff. And when a new movie came out, that's what everybody talked about. But already with the different subscription services, it helps divide the country because nobody's watching the same things. Nobody has anything in common anymore. Um, and now with generative AI, you could literally personalize videos and shows down to the individual or the individual families. So even further division coming, I would predict. Now let's see what ChatGPT predicts. So next slide is the future of LLMs. I didn't familiarize myself totally with this slideshow presentation here prior to recording this. So some of this stuff I'm just like really diving into the first time in depth. Wanted to do it with you here live, I guess, on the recording. So the future of LLMs from the script that ChatGPT put together. Looking ahead, the future of LLMs is promising. We expect continued advancement in the size and capabilities, making them even more powerful and versatile. As LLMs integrate with other AI technologies, and they definitely are going to. That's something called about agents or something. So, hear me breaking away from the script. ChatGPT is terrible at math, and you can kind of see why. It was trained on languages, and the human mind is more geared toward languages than math. So, human minds are not calculators. A calculator can't complete a sentence, but it can tell you what 1056 times 172 is at breakneck speeds, much faster than a human brain mind could accomplish the calculations. And so, by training these models on all of the internet, which actually isn't very much data, they need a lot more data. But they've trained it on what the internet is kind of a mirror of human society and of human creativity, what a human knowledge, it's kind of a mirror looking back at us. In a certain sense, it can't capture all of humanity, but everything that humanity can put online, it can. Um, So I've lost the thread here. Making them even more powerful and versatile. LLMs integrate with our AI technology. Okay, so that's using so if an LLM like ChatGPT, which is not very good at math but is good at understanding natural language, gets presented a math problem to figure out, and then give it access to a regular calculator. Give it access to a different agent. They're calling them calculator, a different program, maybe an artificially intelligent calculator that was specifically built to be very good at math and math equations and math problems. And then the two AI agents could work together to solve problems. And then you would have something that's good at maybe reasoning and natural language combined with something that's really good with math, and the potential for that duo to help out in all sorts of fields, from math studies, engineering, physics, is wonderful. It's great, and it could accelerate our research R&D programs all across the world in labs, in universities, and in large companies that have these labs, even non-for-profits can utilize this. In the same way that I utilize ChatGPT to make this short little slideshow that is better than what I think I could have done myself, I would say. People that are smarter than me can use smarter AIs to do incredible things. Back to the script. As LLMs integrate with other AI technologies, they will likely drive new innovation and impact various industries. So essentially, this thing keeps saying what I keep jumping the gun, I guess. However, we must remain mindful of potential societal challenges and opportunities. Challenges. Um, so, whenever you create something powerful, be it the pen, the sword, the nuclear bomb, or the technology of nuclear fusion or fission, um, obviously all these things are a double-sided sword. The power can be used for good or evil. Like a gun is just a tool that could be used for good or evil. So too is this artificial intelligence at this time is just a tool. It's not conscious itself. It's not making its own decisions. It's human driven, but it's a tool, and we should all become, in my opinion, as knowledgeable of this stuff as we can, so that we can help vote or protest or do whatever we can to ensure that the future is going to benefit all of mankind here and not some tyrannical leaders. Okay, slide 10 is conclusion. Summary of the key points, their transformative impact of technology and society, encouragement for the future exploration and questions. Reading off the script, it says, in conclusion, we've explored the fascinating world of LLMs. Yes, we did over the last 15 minutes or whatever it is. From their evolution and workings to their application and challenges. I didn't go over the evolution. I took that slide out, I guess. LLMs are transforming how we interact with technology and each other. As we move forward, understanding and harnessing these models' potential will be key to unlocking future innovations. And then slide 11, if it's still there, is Q&A. Oh, look at that transition. That's beautiful. So if you could put Q&As, if you could put questions, Q's in the comments below on this YouTube video or back on the Facebook post that I shared this on. I would love to answer them to the best of my abilities or just start a discussion on things like this that I think are going to be important going into the near future. So, okay, I think that wraps this video up. Thank you for tuning in and sticking around this long if you have. All right, I hope you have a great rest of your day.